Welcome back to City Wrestling Radio. It is April 22nd, 2024. I'm your host, Corey Smith, being joined, as always, by my co-host, Mr. Jose Oseguera. How are you today, sir?
Very satisfied. I feel like I've had a full meal, full belly. I've had the cigarette to go along with that meal. Don't do that stuff anymore. But that's the feeling that I have after this pay-per-view. How are you doing, Mr. Smith?
Well, I mean, we're here. We're talking about AEW Dynasty. It's the first Dynasty for AEW. I mean, there have been 2 TV series named Dynasty. You've lived through them both.
Yes.
And now AEW Dynasty. I feel good. I mean, we're coming out of the show. I thought it was a good show from top to bottom. I thought there was a good amount of a filler here and there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And no pun intended. It was just total nonstop action from start to finish. Like even with the pre-show, it's like, wow, there are a lot of matches in the pre-show, which I'm not going to talk about. Yeah. Briefly talk about the Acclaim. But what did you think of the show, Jose?
Great show. I mean, it was sandwiched with some stuff that I'd rather not have on a live event, a pay-per-view, as we call it here. But you have to fill in the time. You have to fill in the full 20 hours that AEW likes to fill.
Yeah, and you mentioned calling it a pay-per-view because it was everywhere. You can order this thing everywhere. It was on Bleacher Report, which I'm sure mostly everyone tried to avoid this time. Was it Triller? Is it Triller or Thriller? No, Triller. I mean, there is a Thriller, but I'm not talking about Michael Jackson.
No.
Triller. It was on payperview.com. It was on everything, even YouTube, which is the way I watched it this time. And if AEW continues with any third-party pay-per-view distribution, please just do YouTube. I don't know what they have to do to make that happen, but it was so seamless from start to finish. The past AEW events, watching on BR Live, I mean, it was just, problem after problem, glitch. Let me cast to my TV with my phone. Oh, that doesn't work. Let me do it for my computer. That's even slower. Okay. Damn it. Yeah. But with YouTube, it's like it's already built into my TV. I just clicked buy. It was literally like a pay-per-view.
Sweet.
You know what I mean?
Glad you had a good experience.
The only downside, $50. Oh. I mean,
yeah, but that's what's gonna happen.
Anyways,
they're pay-per-view for a reason.
Hey, you got to pay per view. Anyways, let's talk about some of the top things that happened coming out of the show, because the first thing, I think, major news coming out of AEW Dynasty is the return of Jack Perry. He made his return to AEW to help the, quote, Young Bucks, that's what I call them, to win the AEW tag team titles for the 3rd time. In the tag match, I do believe it was it Dax on the ladder?
I think so.
Climbing to the top when Masked Man coming out wearing a Sting mask. It wasn't Sting. No. It was Jack Perry coming out to help the Young Bucks win.
Tremendous pop.
Oh, I mean, this whole CM Punk thing with Jack Perry, I mean, he couldn't have asked for a better situation. You know what I mean? Because everyone that doesn't like Punk is just going to get on Perry's side,
Oh, yeah.
What
benefits?
What do you think about this this quote Punk drama? Do you think this is given Perry a new lease on life in AEW?
I mean, we saw a little bit of it in Chicago where you had the crowd somewhat split. And now, like you said, the majority of the country isn't pro-Punk like that. So he's totally taking advantage. He's filling the vacuum, as they say.
Yeah. And, one thing to be noted is that he came out, like I said, he pushed Dax off the ladder, and he was still escorted out of the building, despite being an active competitor, which didn't make sense.
Even after the reveal, yeah.
Yeah, I thought they were like, "Oh, hey, Jack, what's up?"
Sorry, they did for a second.
You still gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay. But when he's leaving, he does the Elite symbol with his hands, or slogan. So that begs the question: Jack Perry, part of the House of Torture in New Japan, now part of the Elite in AEW.
Hell of a stable.
I mean, you got the Young Bucks, Okada, and now Jack Perry.
Oh, you're covering all the bases there. Yeah.
The only thing I thought would have been funnier, and this was just totally mine, is that Cult of Personality is not CM Punk's song. He does not own that.
That's true. That's true.
I would have.
I see what you're getting at.
I would have loved if all of a sudden Cult of Personality hit, and they wouldn't have put Punk's name up there, and just had Jack Perry come out. That was a distraction. Then then he causes something.
Dude, that would be awesome because sometimes these songs they're leased or rented or borrowed for a certain amount of time. There could be an extra 6 months left in that contract with Living Color. So fingers crossed.
And I did see online somebody did make a custom CM Punk themed Jack Perry intro video for the Cult of Personality.
So gonna have to shoot me the link, yeah.
And I was just like, man, Jack, he needs to come out to that at least once, and just anyone who is hated him and is behind Punk 100%. Why would Punk lie? They would be like, he's using his song. What?
Yeah.
That's Punk's song. Well, it's in Living Color song or Living Color, not in Living Color, right?
Living Color, yeah.
In Living Color. Great TV show. Damon Wayans.
No doubt.
No, they're not a part of it. They were at Coachella this weekend, right?
Who? Living Color? No, they
no doubt.
No doubt was. No doubt. Okay, good swerve there.
Anyways, I'm glad to see Perry back in AEW because he was gone for so long, and it was just like one guy was fired from the situation, the other is just seeming like he was just being ignored nonstop until, I hate to say it, until this whole Punk stuff got brought up again. And then it seemed like Tony Khan was like, oh wait, I have Jack Perry under contract.
I have footage that I could share.
Yeah. So it's good to see him back. Hopefully they use him in some sort of good role. But I think this new character he's doing, it got him away from that weird, because he was doing that Hollywood Jack Perry. I didn't really like that much. No. And Jungle Boy was cool, but it was only going to last so long.
Yeah. Once he went through stages as Jungle Boy, right? Jungle Boy with no shoes, Jungle Boy with shoes, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Jungle Boy Jack Perry without the whole clan that he had. So yeah, it's good to see this turn for the better.
Yeah, and he was. I remember the first time I ever saw him was at APW Clash at the Cow Palace, and he maybe before that I just didn't recognize, but he was in a battle royal, in and out in 5 seconds, but he got a huge pop. So yeah,
it's really young at that time,
very young. Anyways, let's continue with some more fallout from Dynasty. Bryan Danielson,
not so young,
the Mr. Not So Young Bryan Danielson, after taking a Tiger Driver, it appeared that Danielson was hurt pretty badly, shaking on the ground. Refs did everything in their power except call for the match. Ospreay then hit him with a hidden blade and pinned Danielson to, I guess, become the best wrestler in the world. It was for those bragging rights. So
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But I thought this was going to lead to an angle afterwards. I thought this was going to lead to the Don Callis family coming out trying to beat down on Danielson, and then Ospreay be like, hey guys, back off, this guy's hurt, man. He earned this, he doesn't need to get beat up. And then Callis would be like, what do you mean back up? Who are you? Why are you taking his side? But it just kind of went nowhere, and the segment just kind of ended, and then it seemed like it was all a work after all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
With Excalibur exclaiming over the commentary, announcing, saying, Danielson did walk to the back on his own after the break. So I don't know. Do you think Danielson is starting to set things in place for his departure from full-time competing?
Oh yeah, 100%. This is maybe the third time that he's gotten hurt during a match, and then taking a break, then came back to fight somebody else.
Yeah. And it's so random too, because it's he does this stuff where he gets injured for no reason and it goes nowhere. And you're like,
yeah,
what was that for?
Yeah. I think it's his calling card now. But I will say that in this particular situation, in this particular event, you don't want to overpower your storyline with what's to come. There's a bunch of stuff that we have to get to. So much stuff that's already happened at this point in the pay-per-view. So yeah, you don't want to, outshine. They say, steal the show, but there's something that in its entirety we're trying to tell here. So definitely not trying to take anybody's thunder now.
And so, I always go back to that time. I remember you like Danielson did this thing on Dynamite where he got his foot like caught in the apron.
Right.
Remember, like, and or like between the stage and like they had to cut the show real quick. But it was like, it was all a work on his end. And it was like, well, why did you do that? No one knew.
Yeah.
I think this is like I said, I think this is him kind of taking the time to say, okay, I'm going to get hurt here. I'm going to get hurt down the road. And then eventually someone's going to beat me. And then I'm going to take some long time away until I come back for more of a part-time role in whatever company.
Yeah. I call it the Danielson PTO sheet. It's the paid time off sheet. So he's filling out his sheet. Listen, guys, I'm taking 2 weeks off. Here's my PTO sheet. My shoulder.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he's not a part-time employee. Then his boss can say, well, like you're a part-time employee. You can't take a full week PTO off. You got to take
part-time's not paid, buddy. Sorry.
Anyways, also, one more big piece of news coming out of Dynasty is our new AEW. I hate to say it's the last, but a new AEW, a lot of new champions, actually. New AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Swerve Strickland. Jose, what are your thoughts on Swerve becoming World Heavyweight Champion?
Tony pulled the trigger at the right time. Not too soon, like everyone wanted. Not too late to the point where Swerve is old news. So this is happening at the perfect time, perfect place. Everything was right. Everything is right with the universe. The stars aligned. I'm loving this. This is cool. This is perfect.
This is really cool. And seeing someone like Swerve, and I guess it's just a little bit of personal positive bias, is that like he's from the West Coast, and I've seen him live at plenty of independent shows throughout the day. So seeing him compete, Cody Rhodes, both compete in gymnasiums around in my area, not around the country, but in my area, and then now at the top of both companies is such like really cool, and I'm just really happy to see them. And Swerve becoming champion is kind of shining a new light on AEW and what their next kind of next generation can be, because it seems like everyone's gone from the past. MJF is gone right now. Sammy Guevara's gone. Kenny Omega's gone. Yeah, we still have the Young Bucks, but that main event scene has changed 100%, and I think it's going to continue to change.
Yeah, and it feels like it's almost like a revolving door with the roster that they have, in a good way. Sometimes it's not a good revolving door. This feels like a breath of fresh air every 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So and this is very cool. Yeah.
I mean, I am a little surprised that Hangman Page didn't get involved. Him saying months ago, I will do everything to prevent you from being World Heavyweight Champion. Apparently not.
Yeah.
Apparently Hangman's a liar. He just lied to us all, so we can't trust the guy anymore.
Well, there's a flu going around. So what are you gonna do? maybe he has a little bit of a cough.
That is true. Well, is there a flu going around? I don't even know.
I know a bunch of people that are getting sick.
It always I think it's okay to get sick during the winter. Getting sick when it's starting to warm up, that's the worst, man, because you got to turn the fan on and you got to lay in your bed like naked, so you're like half cold, half hot. It's just it's no bueno.
Well, the Bay Area is going crazy right now. It's hot 1 week and then raining for 3 days, then hot again, then raining.
Wow. Well, it'll be like that until what, August, and then it's gonna be scorching hot for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
if exactly.
That. Cool. Speaking of rain and making rain,
let's start going through the show. AEW Dynasty. We're gonna go through the full show. We kicked it off. Well, there were some pre-show matches. I guess we'll talk real quick about the Bang Bang Gang unifying the trios titles. I mean, finally. Now there is one set of trios champions in the company. no longer the Ring of Honor or AEW Trios champions. Now they're just the unified or Trios championship. So that's good. Get one set of belts out of there. Then we kicked off with the full show. Kazuchika Okada defeated Pac to retain the AEW Continental Championship. I thought this was a good way to start the show because it wasn't the first match of the show, so it wasn't like just starting it off rough, like out of nowhere. But and it also wasn't like one of those traditional AEW party matches to quote get everyone in the mood.
Yeah.
And like everyone just hitting destroyer.
Yeah.
This was like a legit, really, really good wrestling match between two great competitors, and they just kind of did their fucking best to put on a great match.
This can main event any show, anytime.
Oh, absolutely.
Put this on any promotion, WWE, TNA, AEW. There's a main event in all those shows.
Yeah. And apparently found out Kazuchika Okada is living in New York now, which I want to get that a documentary on Okada living in New York.
Yes.
Just like running around like getting bagels. Yeah. Just like him getting bagels or boggles, whatever we're calling them out there. And taking the subway, like learning how to not pay for the subway in New York, like jumping over the turnstiles or pushing your way through. I don't know what they do over there. But in this match, we did see a lot of cool stuff. A springboard moonsault to Okada where Pac seemingly lands on his neck at that point. We had a German to Okada followed by a shotgun drop kick to Pac. Elbow drop to Pac, and eventually, though, towards the end of the match, Pac goes to the top, and Okada's Pac is going up to the top to hit the black arrow, and Okada pulls the referee in the way to stop Pac from hitting this. Pac gets off the ropes, kind of repositions Okada, and then once he goes for the black arrow, Okada gets his legs up, hits the Rainmaker, and gets the pin and the win. What did you think of this match, Jose?
Perfection. There's nothing to complain about this match. This match is great, fun. I have no complaints. The ending of the match was cool because Okada didn't really pull the ref per se. He kind of just held on for dear life, which is a cool heel move, just desperation, doing anything you can, to survive. And then the knees to Pac's face. Huh. That in itself looked vicious. Good finish, good storytelling. I loved it. 5 out of 5.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to start the show. It was just it's good to see Pac back. Okada, I think you said something about this being it's gonna be a main event anywhere. I think this will be a main event one of these days. I think you will see this match for the AEW World title eventually, or
can't wait
for another title, but I don't think this is the last we see these two in the ring together.
100%. Anytime you hear an announcer say these men have history, well, you just witnessed the history that leads up to that.
Yeah. Next up, we have the House of Black defeating the Rated R Chicken Shack crew. That's the team of Edge. Is it Mark Briscoe and was it Eddie Kingston? Kingston. I don't know. I felt kind of weird about what I'm going to ask you first. What did you think of this match?
I mean, it was fun. Yeah, you're going to have these matches when you have a stat card, and when you look at everything else that's around it, maybe this could have been a Dynamite main event.
Okay, so to me, it seemed like Edge was this was like Edge showing these guys how to do this style of match.
Oh,
that's how I felt. Like it felt to me like Edge was kind of taking the lead with everyone and saying, we are going to do the ultimate WWE 6-man tag match here, because AEW has always, pride itself on, having a little bit of everything for everyone, and having a little bit of everything for everyone is having some WWE stuff. So,
that's perfectly logical. And for a second match, I'll take it.
Like I thought it was decent. I thought it ran a little long in the tooth. But we know in this match, there was a lot of cool things. Jay hits a senton. It's like just a crazy hardcore match, by the way. So Jay hits a senton off a chair to Big Brody Lee on the outside. Did I say Big Brody Lee?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Okay. I almost thought I said God, why am I blanking on his name? Brody John Harper, Luke Harper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, edit. We had a rolling Death Valley driver to Briscoe into the barricade. Malachi, I think, is really funny because lately I feel like he always looks like he's in boxer shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looks like he's just in like really nice silky boxer shorts, like he's getting up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water.
Zelina's taking the budget for all the costumes.
And so he's just like, I have these red shorts that like I have left over from Valentine's Day, you know. But nonetheless, I always liked I like him better in trunks. I think him in shorts looks a little silly.
Yeah.
Who am I to say though? Who am I to say? Hot tag to Adam Copeland in this match. I mean, he cleans house. Like I said, he's the one kind of running the show for this match, at least in my opinion. We have a teased Tower of Doom spot. We had an impaler to Brody, followed by a froggy elbow. Then we have the most WWE thing ever, where all the faces hit a spear to all the heels.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, towards the end of the match, Malachi and Adam Copeland are finally in the ring together. Edge goes for the spear, but Malachi spits the black mist in his face and hits the black mask and gets the pin and the win on him. So
yeah, Edge got aged. Did you see?
Yeah. He's just like, well, I mean, Edge, I love Edge. When he came back to WWE, he was just like, okay, this guy's a little older, you know, he's doing it, but he wasn't like pushing himself in the ring like he is now.
Yeah.
This guy, now when he's done in the ring now, he's like, hey guys, you guys good? You're like, yeah, you good, Edge? Yeah, I'm great.
Yeah,
perfectly fine.
Like the interview like last week or the week before where he comes out to the back and he's like, at least we have a shot at Dynasty.
You guys good? You guys good? You guys good? They're like, yeah, we're good, dude. Like,
what's wrong with you? Jeez,
chill. But you know, in the past, the black mist has led to have some adverse effects on people. Not everyone, obviously. It's I think it's, but you know, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, both, you know, are kind of House of Black members. I don't know if Sky Blue is technically, but
she went heelish.
She's friends with Julia Hart, you know.
Yeah.
She parties with her.
She took the sky out of the blue.
There you go. So I want to know if this is going to lead to an Edge heel turn, you know, or an Edge, maybe a new character from Edge, maybe some sort of demon-like character.
Do you mean like Judgment Day?
Yes, like Judgment Day.
No, please. We went through that road.
Never mind. But you know, I wonder because it's happened before.
Yeah. It makes logical sense. Yeah.
So next up we have Willow Nightingale defeating Julia Hart to become the new TBS champion. I don't know about you, Jose, but I absolutely loved this match.
Really?
I from start to finish, it wasn't that long of a match. They hit all their notes. Julia Hart, or not Julia Hart, but Willow, I've been waiting for them to pull the like actual trigger on her. To, you know, put a title on her, and now they did. She won cleanly with a Dr. Bomb. It was no like trip, there was no rigmarole. She won definitively. She beat Julia Hart's ass and she won the TBS title. I am so happy for her, and seeing them put her over makes me happy, you know, because she's over with the fans. So what did you think of this match?
You know, I'm not 100% sold on Willow yet.
Okay.
She's lacking just, I don't know what it is, the je ne sais quoi. She's lacking just that one bit to become champion. But we are talking about the TBS champion, which is probably a step below the AEW Women's Championship.
Oh, it definitely is, yeah.
So, okay, you know, it was a good match. I see no reason to harp on it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, even Julia Hart has had more personality with her new character in the House of Black than she did with her, you know, Varsity Blonde's character. Willow has, she just shines, her personality just shines in any segment. Like even there was a backstage segment where, her and Stokely, where he's like, well, you still broke Mercedes' leg or whatever. And she's like, Stokely, it was comedic.
Yeah.
So I think they can go really far with her. If they want to.
Did they drop a seed for a Statlander turn?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, so she comes. Well, I thought that was going to happen tonight for a second. So the match goes. Willow and Julia go back and forth, or Willow goes right up to Julia right when the match starts, back and forth between the two. Heartless applied to Willow, but Willow powers out and escapes the hold. Willow gets her feet up for a moonsault by Julia, hits the Doctor Bomb, the pin, and the win. After she won, Stokely Hathaway and Chris Statlander were in the ring, and it did seem like Statlander was positioning herself up for a heel turn at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah,
they all hugged.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my, I can't, because I'm not even like joking about this. Then Mercedes Moné comes out. I cannot handle it anymore. She is driving me insane. She comes out, she's just like, she's dancing, she does nothing. Willow just had this great moment in the ring, where she finally won a title, and she won it cleanly in the promotion that she's been up and coming superstar or wrestler in, superstar, whatever. And then you have this, not older, but veteran of the wrestling industry coming out, dancing, presumably going to take that title from her at Double or Nothing because it's her name. To me, it just made me dislike Mercedes even more. If they're trying to make her a face, I don't know what they're doing, because they're doing a horrible job with her. I'm done. I can't see her on my screen. Anytime I see CEO, I'm just like, get this shit off my screen right now. I'm sure she's a nice person. I want to put that out. Nice person, probably. Don't know. But her character, hate her. Anyways.
Okay. So before I give my opinion, we're going to put a marker on this one, because this is going up on socials. This little rant. I love it. Okay. Yeah, man. The music is horrible. The piped in chants is dumb. She's losing credibility with a lot of people very fast. I think it has a lot to do with her pushing her own view on what her character is supposed to be, because AEW, they have a reputation, or they have a process where they let talent be heavily involved in their character development.
Yeah,
and I think she's too involved. She needs an editor ASAP, as soon as effing possible, because she's losing us, man. A lot of us.
And you know what it is? It's that, and I'm not trying to say it's that, but they brought that writer in from WWE that wrote for her in like 2019. So you're bringing the person who wrote all the, like, it was their writing during some of the worst times in WWE, and you brought her in here for Mercedes Moné to, work on her storylines. You built this baby face in Willow, who like it just, the countdown is on. Mercedes is going to take that title from her. And it just sucks, because, you see that and you're just like, well, cool, but May 23rd? Okay, you got a month, Willow.
Yeah, the countdown is on. The only way I can see saving this is she goes full heel, but you got to go full board and not this corny CEO character.
They would have to turn Chris and Stokely, and they would have to make them aligned with Mercedes and go against Willow. Then Willow could be the ultimate babyface. And everyone, okay, then I get it. If that's where you're going, I get it. But if the end thing was just to make Mercedes a babyface, because she's not a likable babyface, she never has been and she never will be. I mean, she comes off like a heel.
Yeah. Every time, all the time. The dance is old. I knew that was going to get old. I mean, we as collectively, as the community, knew that was going to get old really, really fast. She does the same little two-step, with the same CEO chants, we're all gonna get sick of that really fast, and I think we're at that point.
I've been past it. The second she came out in Boston, you know,
No, well, that was a cool moment. I mean, pipe it in to get people talking, but then after that, you remove the piped CEO chants. Let it grow organically. You already taught the crowd what they needed to do.
Yeah, I say take that as line. And the fact that it's Gunther's theme song stolen.
Right.
My girlfriend was so pissed because Gunther is one of her favorite wrestlers, and she doesn't like Mercedes. She's like, why has she been in so many companies the past couple of years? And I said, I don't know. I cannot answer that.
Yeah.
But the fact that she stole Gunther's theme song and then put the CEO chants up.
I wonder who pulled the trigger on that. That's just a really good point. Who said yes to that? Yeah, who pulled the trigger to? Yeah, let's just use that.
I think it was she had it made, and I mean I don't know. I'm just spitballing. I'm just guessing, and it's an uneducated guess because I've never worked in the company. So
yeah.
Let's talk about something good though.
Some brighter news.
Some brighter and better news. Roderick Strong defeated Kyle O'Reilly to retain the International Championship. I keep getting that and the Continental Championship confused nowadays.
Yeah, because we have the Intercontinental title.
And we have an international title and a continental title.
Yeah.
But I forgot how much I loved Kyle O'Reilly. I really did.
Yeah,
this guy can fucking go, man. What did you think of this match? First and foremost,
dude, it was nothing but fun. I was kind of disappointed when Wardlow came out, but then I was pleasantly relaxed and calmed down and brought back to earth. I really thought it was going to be a match full of shenanigans. So I liked how it turned out.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just like back and forth strikes, backbreaker to Kyle on the turnbuckle.
There's a bunch of really backbreakers in this match. And whew.
Yeah, Strong looking for a Tiger Driver. O'Reilly locks in a guillotine, but slammed into the ropes. The end of the match, though, you mentioned Wardlow, and Wardlow comes out, and it's really weird because he comes out and he gets on the edge of the ring, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm Wardlow. Have you seen my TNT title? I got it stolen in San Francisco.
Some bippers got me.
Got bipped." Then he stood there and he's like, "Hey, I'm not trying to do anything." And then he gets back, and then what do you call it? I think Roddy hits the end of Heartache, and just wins the match. So I was like, what? Why? Like, why are we still doing this weird Wardlow stuff?
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing this back and forth with him? There's never anything for him. Either that or he is just pissing somebody off in the back to where every time he gets some sort of push, they're like
keep unplugging.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of looking in.
Yeah, he might be one of those smart Alex that is very sarcastic in his remarks, and he just rubs people the wrong way. He's like, "Oh man, there goes your push, you check button."
Hey, it's happened to me plenty of times in life. You know what I mean?
Oh hell yeah.
But yeah,
we're a little bit older. We're a little bit more seasoned.
Yeah, now we can. It's like, they're just grumpy old men.
Yeah.
But so. Roddy, he retains the title, but then after the match, we saw the return of Adam Cole, who is now wheelchairless, walks down to the ring. Now finally, Britt Baker could come back because everyone was saying how she can't come back. She's taking care of Adam Cole.
Oh, come on.
Because, if a wife's not taking care of her husband, what is she doing in this world?
She's a fucking
completely kidding.
Nurse. Yeah,
I'm completely kidding, but people have been saying that. So he comes out though, and when he comes into the ring, he gives Wardlow this like snarl of a look, behind Wardlow's back. The second Wardlow turns, Adam Cole just, hey, Roddy, we love you. Yeah, we're the Undisputed Kingdom. So it's like, where is this going? We came from one of the worst storylines, at least the devil thing, because it was just, I mean, it started out kind of cool, and then it just like
dragged on too long. It dragged on too long.
Yeah. And then so now we have this Undisputed Kingdom thing. Where is this going? Are they even after the title? We had the proclamation of Wardlow winning the title and giving it to Adam Cole, but that's fucked now.
Dude, it was
Better.
doomed from the beginning. It was doomed from the beginning. Ever since they did that whole Wardlow's going to bring the title to me and place it on my lap. Oh, dude, you kind of fucked up there.
Yeah. So like, it's just, I don't know, man. I hope they do something with something good with Adam Cole and Wardlow. I hope they do something good with Wardlow. I think he needs some sort of like complete, like, get him out of there. Send him to New Japan, because he would actually do great in New Japan. He would get over naturally as a monster over there. You know what I mean? Facing like the Great O'Khan, facing like Jeff Cobb, whoever's over there.
Juicy.
So like that would be good, and it would get him off our screens for a long time. He could find out who he is as a wrestler, who his character is, and then come back eventually,
Yeah. And you're doing a cool exchange with New Japan, because we've been doing a lot of AEW's been doing a lot of, take, and not enough give. So giving Wardlow off for an exchange, for having your champion be an all leader,
and have him not work on screen, but have him kind of there with Jon Moxley. Have Jon Moxley with him, not as a babysitter, but just kind of as like a
babysitter.
This is what you do over here. Go here. This is the good steakhouse. Make sure you get to know the place. And he picks up some good habits over there, because it really is the best situation, I think, for a lot of people. But for Wardlow, who has just been back and forth, the same exact storyline, like, all I saw when Adam Cole was snarling at Wardlow was MJF's face. Back when they were the Pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. The Pinnacle, Undisputed Kingdom, exact same thing. So it's like that meme where it's like, show me, which one, the difference in these pictures. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Anyways,
but let's not let that take away from an excellent match.
No, I know. Let's move on to the fight. The fight in the Hardcore Club. It's the old metalhead versus the young hardcore kid. They're fighting in the mosh pit. It's Chris Jericho and Hook for the FTW title. Because
which doesn't mean jack shit here.
I do love how they still have, it doesn't mean anything, but they still have the graphics for FTW title, middle fingers in the air, like, I'm just like, okay, cool. So I thought this was an okay hardcore match, but I really wasn't expecting a lot out of it.
No. Yeah, this is definitely a piss break match. Yes.
I was thinking this is for one of two reasons. A, you can have Hook kind of work with Jericho in calling matches in the ring. You know what I mean? Have him learn a little bit more from a veteran in the ring. Also, now he's going to work longer with him, because Chris Jericho did defeat Hook to become the FTW title champion. Now you have Jericho living out his 1995 fantasies. His original ECW self. I could be that FTW champion if I wanted to. No, you can't. Okay.
Hence why he's Lionheart again.
He's the Lionheart as the FTW champion. So, let's see. So I thought this was an okay hardcore match. Like I said, they battle on the outside. Hook hits Jericho with the with like the weakest Superman punch, barely connecting with him on the outside. Jericho still sells it.
It's a Clark Kent punch.
Yeah. We have a T-bone suplex to Jericho through a table that was set up earlier. The fans are like just firmly against Jericho in recent weeks. So Jose, what do you think is like contributing to like the fans just hating Jericho? Like hate. Like people are chanting "Go away, Jericho" or "Go home, Jericho." Nobody likes this guy anymore. Everyone's looking at him like he is like what happened? I know there was the thing with the Kylie Ray stuff that was nothing was ever came out of that. Nothing ever came.
That kind of felt like the beginning. Yeah. Oversaturation. We're too much Jericho, too much all the time. He's winning everything. He always wins. When was the last time he put somebody over?
Yeah. Well, was it Action Andretti?
Who? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. But that's not Jericho's fault. That's the company's fault for not following through with Andretti.
Yeah, totally. It's just, this whole okay. This Chris Jericho is not as cool as what was his New Japan name?
The Painmaker.
Painmaker. Yes, it's not
Yeah,
as
that was
cool as him. It's not as cool as Le Champion.
yeah.
It's just not. It's a throwback to what he used to be, and that was 30 years ago, bro. Come on, let's bring it up to date. He needs a break. He needs to take a little vacation.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Hook can get him to do another one of these hardcore matches and takes him out for a good 3 months.
Well, I mean, he's got some time now as the FTW champ. Not some time off, but he's
Oh
got some
yeah,
time coming because he's got to run around with that title for a little while.
yeah.
So eventually we have a T-bone to Jericho while Jericho had a garbage can over his head. Hook has the bread rum locked in, and then Jericho falls backwards through a table. Jericho goes for a Judas effect, but Hook tries to lock in a knee bar. Jericho reverses into the walls. Eventually, Hook does break out. The bread rum is applied again, and then behind the ref's back. Well, I guess it wasn't behind the ref's back, but a low blow to Hook. Judas effect. Hook kicks out of this one, but then we get another Judas effect, and Hook refuses to die. And then that's when we get good old Floyd coming out from under the ring. Hook sees it, flips him off, says F you, Jericho, and then Jericho strikes Hook and to become the new FTW champion.
Yeah.
After the match, you saw Taz like ringside, just like
what?
Hey!
What?
Yeah. Everyone thought he was going to get involved because he got up in the ring before the 3 count, and you heard everybody in the crowd go, "What?"
And nothing. Yeah, the use of Taz in this whole program has been a waste. Why even insert him if he's not going to be a factor?
Yeah. It's really weird. Like I get the whole. I get the whole like your dad was trying to teach you, but you've never learned anything. But like Taz can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think this whole thing with Hook and Jericho has just been kind of convoluted since the very beginning. First, they were teaming together, and then next week I want to wrestle you, and then next week I want to team with you again, but you're not listening to me in the same time. And Shibata gets beat because of it, and then it's just what?
Yeah, it feels very rushed and not well put together. Let's do this because the end result is this. I think they worked backwards from the match. We're going to do something at Dynasty. Let's work backwards from there. Okay, but we only have 3 weeks. We'll make it work.
Exactly. So, and then each week was like, oh, fuck, we got to do this week,
Yeah. There was like huge revelations every week, and it was just jarring.
Yeah. It was just out of nowhere. Like, why? Like what was it last week? Jericho was like, come on, dude. Like, be my friend. Please.
Yeah.
It's like, chill. All right. So next up, we have Toni Storm defeating Thunder Rosa to retain her AEW women's title. Good match. No one got hurt, which
in that regards is a great match.
I do too. Thunder Rosa. I never noticed how much makeup Toni Storm wears, I guess because of the black and white filter. It helps it, but speaking of makeup, Thunder Rosa comes out and she's wearing a mask, and I was like, oh, she's wearing a mask tonight. That's kind of cool. But I was looking at it. I was looking at it and I was like, she's not. The first thing I noticed was she's not wearing any makeup under that mask. And I was like, oh, is she just going to wear a mask tonight? That's kind of cool. No, because she takes off the mask because there's no mask. There's no face paint. This is Melissa Cervantes, just plain and simple. She comes out and she's just like a wrestler. It's not Thunder. I mean, it's not like that. It's wrestling like Thunder Rosa. And maybe this is a new iteration of Thunder Rosa.
Maybe that's why she lost.
Could be. Maybe the face paint adds some. I always thought the character was like really good, though. I don't understand why to pull back on it.
Yeah, no, I think it's trying to get more real life with it. But you know what? Nobody wants to fight Steve Borden. Everybody wants to fight Sting.
I don't know, man. That Steve Borden cut me in line one time at Target. Really pissing me off, dude. But okay, so they go back and forth. We have a tornado dive to Tony and Luther on the outside. Eventually, we get a springboard power bomb to Tony, crucifix bomb to Tony. A lot of stuff, but eventually, as Tony is trying to apply a rear naked choke, Tony pulls the ring apron, and the ref is distracted, and she hits a low blow to one Melissa Thunder Rosa, and hits the Storm Zero and pins and wins. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say like that's not a guy. It doesn't hurt. Like you get kicked anywhere, it's gonna hurt. But
funny you say that. I was watching with my wife.
Yeah,
I turned to her and go, "Does that really hurt?" She goes, "Well, yeah. There's stuff down there, man." Okay, sorry. Okay.
I love how that's like every guy's first response. Because you don't have what I have. So like you getting kicked there, like you have like steel right there, right? When
Adamantium, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so and then Tony Storm gets the pin and the win on Thunder Rosa. Okay, cool, man.
I really like this match. I found it very entertaining. The promo that they've been cutting on each other for the past week or two have been stellar. Good build up, good interference.
Yeah,
that's how you do run-ins. Front to back, left to right. This match was dope.
I can't help but look at Mariah May and think Tiffany Stratton though. Every time I see her,
a Euro Tiffy time.
Yeah, I'm like, you look like Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just two blonde chicks.
A little bit. But one has more athletic ability than the other. Let's just say that.
Who, Mariah May or Tiffany?
I would say Tiffany, right?
Well, she's a former gymnast.
Exactly.
Next up, we have Will Ospreay defeating Bryan Danielson, like I said, to become the best wrestler in the world. We talked about this briefly at the beginning of the show, but this was I'm gonna say it right here. This is probably match of the fucking year,
decade,
like so far, because this was just fucking great. It was just back and forth the entire match. Like I couldn't even really like keep complete track of this, but like the second day square up, and I think it's kind of stupid most of the time when people will square off in the ring and they're like, holy shit, and they're just standing there.
No, it is, but not this time, not now.
Yeah. But so at the beginning of the match, though, it did seem like Bryan Danielson was kind of getting one up on Ospreay, with Ospreay seeming like he kind of bit off more than he can chew with Danielson. Yeah, it was just a lot of cool stuff in this match. Corkscrew kick, corkscrew moonsault to Bryan, tiger driver, atomic tiger suplex to Ospreay. Ospreay goes for a tiger driver on the apron. Bryan fights off, but Ospreay managed to fight and hit an Os cutter on the ring apron, which was pretty crazy.
Very cool.
So then
Hidden Blade.
So we go to the end of the match. Ospreay hit the Hidden Blade, then a tiger driver hit a tiger driver, dropped Danielson directly on his neck and shoulder. Bryan immediately grabbed his shoulder with the refs going, are you okay? Are you okay?
Why's your leg shaking? What's going on?
It's just like, chill. If you're really hurt, I'm sorry for making fun of you, dude. But
no, there's one nerve that goes from your shoulder to your knee. It really hurts.
Yeah. So then Ospreay hit Hidden Blade one more time, and it's really weird because the commentators are like, and this is why I thought it was going to lead to an angle, because they're like, he didn't know that Danielson was really hurt. Like, is he supposed to care? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, if he was a heel, no, but if he's a face, yeah, because in the spirit of competition.
So then, like I said, Ospreay is just, by Danielson's side as the screen goes to the next segment, and it's just, that's it. So, kind of weird, but great match.
Yeah, no, they've been planting these seeds for a long time with Ospreay trying to leave the family. And this is just another, notch in that confrontation.
Especially since you had wasn't Callis on commentary?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you could at least had him come in and try to do some sort of like.
Well, he did come to the ring apron.
Yeah, but I want to see him try to strike Danielson, and then Ospreay be like, "Hey, he's not going to step in front of Hobbs right now, but he'll, step in front of." But then that's when you have Takeshita taking out Ospreay.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think the reason why they kind of held back a little bit here was because they want to save this for future shows.
I
So
mean,
this is just another straw until
if
it breaks the camel's back.
if they're going for Wembley, cool, because they only got a few more months to Wembley, and they got to start
Yeah.
kind of setting something up for that. So
Yeah.
next up, we have the Young Bucks defeating FTR to become the first three-time AEW World Tag Team Champions. Did you notice one thing I did kind of notice about the past couple of weeks with this show and wrestling in general?
Mhm.
You got a lot of new champions, all over the place. Every single promotion is just new champion, new champion, new champion, new champion. And I wonder if it's just like a trend from WrestleMania. Like, well, they got all new champions. Let's get some new champions over here.
I think it's more WrestleMania was the initial reboot, so they hit the reset button. Boop, boop. Okay, let's get our own people up there. And AEW is doing the reactionary thing, like, oh, we should probably do that too. So, boop boop reboot.
Yeah. So, like I said, this match is when it's fucking crazy. If you think of the Young Bucks and FTR having a ladder match, think of the stuff that's going to happen. You're probably correct. A bunch of people going through tables, bunch of people going through ladders, falling off ladders, any kind of geometry angle you want to do with them flipping.
Yeah.
They did that, 360, 490, whatever, 1220 degree, 1080p. They got it, man. They did it in the match, but basically I didn't take notes of this match, but at the end of the match, like I said, Jack Perry coming out to help the Young Bucks win the tag titles.
Hooray!
I did think it was funny though. I want to see in some sort of ladder match involving the tag titles where two people pull down two separate people from different teams pull the titles at the same time. And either one of two things can happen. They can go to sudden death and then just go to a pinfall, which is kind of weird because it's a ladder match. You built it up as a ladder match the entire time.
Yeah.
Or you just announce those two guys as the winner of the match. Like,
you force them to tag together. Yeah.
Dax Harwood and Matt Jackson. What?
Yes. I was thinking the same thing, dude. We're vibing.
So, they should have did that at Money in the or WrestleMania too. Like, just grab a title, guys.
Yeah.
Think about that too. All the tag titles have been changed recently over ladder matches. It's probably the first. Anyways, well,
and now it's time for your main event.
Swerve Strickland defeating Samoa Joe to become the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So I talk a lot about AEW matches like going a little too long, but I feel like that while this match was great, I feel like 10 more minutes would have made it perfect. Because like there was just like that, like they could have just went a little deeper with the punch. What did you think of this match, Jose?
Excellent way to end the show. Like I said earlier in the show, perfect time to pull a trigger on Swerve. I have no complaints. That's been a theme here. I haven't been having many complaints about this show.
Yeah, AEW does really good pay-per-views. Then their weekly shows are like, what?
Yeah.
So Swerve comes out with a cool that was Killmonger, correct? Cool Killmonger entrance.
It was either Black Panther or Killmonger,
yeah. Joe, there was one spot too. I did like because Joe does that walk away spot. And Joe does walk away spot. He's like, whatever, and then he turns around. Swerve gives him a drop kick. Swerve one step ahead of Joe. They battle on the outside. Joe strips the floor padding. Eventually, Swerve is power slammed into said unprotected floor. Joe takes over for a bit. Swerve rips a padding off of not the corner turnbuckle, but like one of the middle parts of the ring post to stretch Joe's armpit over it, as they said on the commentary. We saw a flatliner to Joe. Swerve begins focusing on attacking Joe's left arm. Muscle buster to Swerve, followed by a kick out. Joe grabs his title, heads into the ring, but Swerve hits a house call, followed by a guillotine leg drop. Swerve stomp to Joe, followed by another kick out. Joe picks up the title, and that's when Nana like distracts the ref, which I was not understanding what was going on. I thought we were going to have Nana turn on Swerve there for a minute, but he swings, misses, drops the title. Swerve grabs the title, and he swings and misses, and he gets locked in the coquina clutch. Eventually, he does get out of it. We get the house call to Joe, followed by a kick out, a power bomb to Joe. and then Swerve gets on the top of the ring post, and that
Whoops.
camera was like they were waiting for like Swerve gets up there, he's like, "Come on, everyone, get up, everyone, please! I'm about to win the world title. Please make this a moment." And it was kind of cool because the camera panned out and everyone stood up. He hits the Swerve stomp, little it was an okay looking Swerve stomp. What did you think of that?
Did you notice the botch?
No, what was that?
Originally, when they were both stuck on the top rope, Swerve grabbed Joe's nose, and he was supposed to jump and do the stomp from the top rope, but he overleaped Joe, and Joe stayed like he was gonna fall down, but Joe held on. He's like, "Oh shit, what are we gonna do?" Then he gave him a power bomb, and then he gave him that stomp, and from there they were just going freestyle. So
got it.
The way it was written on paper would have been amazingly cool. The stomp from the top rope, that would have been really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But Swerve was being extra safe. Give him credit for that.
Yeah, then they got through it. They did their spot, and hey, new AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. Oh,
yeah, and you still have that spot to save for another day.
Yeah. All right, I think that about does it here for us today. We're gonna get out of here. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check us out on all the socials, Instagram, X, even Facebook. Facebook is still around. We have something up on Facebook.
Facebook? Yeah.
So check us out. We're going to see you guys again later this week with our regular weekly show. So take care. Have a wonderful day. For City Wrestling Radio, I'm Corey Smith.
I'm Jose Smith.
Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye.